What are we doing, dude? Dude, you get a little hungry? He's a little hungry, so he's getting some chopped garlic. Dude,
oh, no!
You got anything else to say? You're probably not going to be in this episode.
I don't know. $1 to lick the spoon.
$1?
No, $5.
$5?
Yeah, for all that.
No, that's too much for $5. That's like 20.
Too much for $5?
That's like $20.
$25. I cut it in half. $25 off rent. Lick the whole spoon clean.
Dude, that's a lot. That's like a clove.
There's no way you're doing it.
That's like a clove of garlic.
No, dude. This dude is an animal. I take absolutely zero credit for any of this. Dude, nice job.
Thanks, dude.
For never doing this before, you know, first time. Looks freaking awesome, dude.
Big YouTube header guy.
You watch a couple videos? So, yeah, this looks really good. And he's absolutely killing it. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Just looks really good. A lot of tacking, welding, taping, retaping, twisting.
Yeah, this is like the most cuts I've done in one piece, so
Yeah.
let's see how it turns out.
So basically he's trying to get that bend right there. And
Which I
it's
think
looking pretty close.
I think we spent too much time
Printing those? You haven't even used them on that side, have you? Except for little stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. It was only 6 days of the 3D printer running straight.
It's not like we really had to work that hard.
Yeah, it's all good. Probably just up my electricity bill a little bit.
That's fine.
So there you go.
It's pretty close.
Looks good to me.
I don't know if it'll fit though.
See if it fits. Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, it looks like it just needs to... Oh, you're gonna have to add a little bit? Add a little bit and twist a little bit. Nice, dude. I'm sure you already talked about it, but he's starting with this side because he has to split the flange to split in between the steering shaft that you guys can see in there. So in theory, this is the harder side. The other side is just gonna be straight down, you know, nothing in his way. So the other side is a little bit, well, I wouldn't say the other side's tighter, but he just has the bell housing that kicks out on that side in the starter, but it shouldn't affect him at all. So keep going, dude. Good job.
Thanks, dude.
We got leftover too for headers you're gonna do on my car.
Yeah, unless I use it all on this side. All right, you guys. So I stopped recording there for a little bit. Haven't really recorded today. It's the next day. And where I left off was I had one little section to do on cylinder 8. It is now about 3:30, I believe. And that's the only thing I've gotten done so far. I finally just got it to fit right. So it was like the last piece of a puzzle that you can't find, I swear. So I already pulled cylinder 7 out because I'm going to start tacking these tubes up. But you can see here, it's pretty creative to try and make up the length for this small cylinder. So it comes all the way down, goes around the other one, and then in here, does a little wavy wave sort of deal. So only way I can really make it fit because it comes down and then it kind of comes up and bends in. So finally piece it together, and yeah, gonna start tacking them up. Tack these two up because they're not tacked to the flange. That way they don't move at all because I know they're gonna fit. And then I will pull the flange out because I got 2 pieces down there for cylinder 6. Tack those in. Then hopefully I'll be able to, I'll probably have to put it back in again, put the tubes in, make sure they're good, and then go from there. So yeah. Time to tack up some stuff.
Beautiful day in Chicago today. Temperatures expected to reach the upper 70s.
Adamson, Adler, Here.
Anderson. Anderson.
Here.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Touchdown in 86. Knew I was a man by the age of 6. I even fucked a girl that used to babysit, but that was years later on some crazy shit. I heard your new shit. Nigga hated it. Damon Wayans told me don't play that shit. I get paid a lot. You get paid.
All right. So you guys saw me finish welding all of the primaries and getting all those together, everything that we kind of had taped up. So they're all welded together and now in the car, and everything fits like it used to. So it looks pretty sick. Turned out pretty good. Everything's pretty close to the same length. It might be off about an inch or so to each other. So everything lines up where it's supposed to. There's clearance on the steering shaft. There's no issue there, it looks like. And yeah, so the next step will be to take those two tubes back off. I already got them marked, so I know exactly where they go. Pull everything off, fit it together on the bench, and then actually weld the tubes to the flange. Then we're gonna have to see how hard it is for us to split these and put the shaft in. It might be difficult, but it's something we'll have to figure out. All right, you guys, I'm back to work on the headers. So yesterday I came out here, I didn't really film. I just kind of stuck my nose down and started getting stuff done. So I got the tubes completely welded to the flange. The flange is cut in half because we have to split it for the steering shaft. Everything's finish welded, the insides are welded. I just need to massage the inside of the actual header so it flows good. Go put it all back in, and we have one little issue, and I now make contact right here, pretty good contact on the K-member. I'm not sure exactly how that ended up like that. I might have just clocked it slightly wrong when I put it into the flange, and I should have tacked it and checked. So I'm going to pull this side off again and see what I can do about it. See if I can kind of flex it a little, or see if there's any way around it before I decide that I'm going to notch out a little bit of the K-member. And it's not much. I mean, it's just, you can see right there, it's just on the corner. It's not too bad, but it's enough. I mean, that was the purpose of building these custom headers, were, you know, having clearance on everything and no issues. But I think it just got twisted when I went up there and welded it, and yeah, because before I didn't have that much clearance on it.
I get paid a lot, you get paid a bit, and my latest shit is like a greatest hits. Should I listen to everybody on myself? Cause myself just told myself, you the motherfucking man, you don't need no help. Cash your checks, and I'm picking up my chest. Y'all keep talking about who next, but I'm about as big as it gets. I swear y'all just wasting y'all breath.
So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take a little bit out of the K-member right here, which isn't too big of a deal because I can still keep the factory shape of everything. Fortunately, don't believe it's going to be that much. I think really just taking this small part out right here will actually release it a little bit and keep some tension off of it. Hopefully I don't cut it and it needs a lot more. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to get this completely done on this side before I start the other, because I want my collector to be in the exact correct spot. And the reason I want that is because when I go to do this one, I want to get it as close as possible.
Wasting y'all breath.
And running.
This is George Peterson.
How are you today, sir?
Well, we've had a bit of bad luck this morning, as you may have heard.
Yeah, I heard, and I'm all broken up.
So I think I'm gonna notch out a little bit more, and then that should take all the pressure off of this tube. And yeah, not using the other grinder. I don't even know what it's called. Die grinder.
Not using the die grinder?
No, dude. I have no. I got slivers all up my arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Thanks for working so hard on this.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Alrighty, so my good buddy Clarence came by and helped me out here, and we're looking pretty good. Looks like it's all clear, and I had the collector on, but I left the camera up here, so when the collector was on, everything looked pretty good. So I'm gonna pull this side off again and put some high quality touch-up paint on the corner there, and pretty much call this side good. I might work on extending that one tube a little bit because I'm worried about it being an exhaust leak, so extend it a little bit, and then basically this side's done until I do the insides and clean all those out. But I'm gonna do both of those at the same time. So once I do those two things and put it back in, set it in, have the collector in the right spot, I'll be able to start the other side. So today I'm going to work on getting the first primary done for the location of the collector, and then work on cutting the other pieces from the old headers. This is the first one. This is off cylinder 1. So we're gonna cut this flange off first from here and then fit it in. But I wanted to show you guys just how bad this side was with the K-member. So obviously I already got the other flange in there, but if you kind of set it in, let me try and do it with one hand. I'm on that bolt right there. It is straight into the K-member, like bad. So I'm thinking this side is going to be a pretty custom side. We're still gonna try and use the beginnings of each primary just for the starts, and we'll see how much length I can use on them. And then I just gotta try and make them the same length as that side. So just gonna start with cutting flanges off, then measuring, seeing how much we can actually use, and then going from there.
All broken up. Boy, what a blow.
Yeah. Well, it's been a tough morning, and we've got a lot of family business to take care of, so if you wouldn't mind excusing so long, I'd appreciate it.
I got way too much on my mental. I learned from what I've been through. I'm finna do what I didn't do and still waking up like the rest do. Not complicated, it's simple. I got sexy ladies a whole bins full. And to them hoes, I'm every day but gentle, but I still take my time. Man, I guess I'm just old-fashioned, wearing retro shit, that's old-fashioned.
Need that work, I got that work, got bitches in my condo. Just bought a shirt that comes Mercedes-Benz car. From the 8 to Toronto.
Force of nature.
We don't have as much space between this side of the motor and the strut tower as we do over here. And we don't have as much space going down for the collector because of the starter. And other than that, the angles are kind of a little weird too. We really have to drop it out and down compared to how these ones drop straight back and in. So yeah, I think this side's gonna be pretty challenging in itself. So I'm gonna get that one piece tacked up so it's at least in place, and I can kind of build off of it without holding it with tape, because the tape still flexes a little bit when you start moving things around. So I'm at least get it tacked up, put it back in, get the collector in. Hopefully it's in the right spot when I put it all together on the bench. Make any adjustments that we need, and mainly try and get this first primary done. Then we'll move on to two and kind of build the beginning of each one all together, because now I got to make sure that cylinder 4 has enough space to come down and create some length and go into the collector. All right, so everything's welded up and back in, and I got the collector exactly where I wanted it and made some reference marks so I can always put it back where it needs to go. And so I did a measurement from this header to this header to a solid point on my transmission mount here. And this one's 17 inches and this one's about 16 3/4. So we're super close in this direction with the measurement, so when I build the exhaust it'll be really close. And then obviously you can see how the body sits, which now looking at it, the body is a bit different. I don't think these two match exactly, so we're close. And when you look at the K-member, this is higher up than this side. That's no big deal though, because we can build that into the exhaust, and with the reducer it'll come up a little bit. So got this tube all welded up. I don't want to show you guys my welds, but that's all done. Getting lots of TIG practice, which has been super awesome. I just started learning TIG not too long ago. I mean, I probably have less than a day's worth of time on the machine, and starting to feel like I'm kind of getting it down, so it's kind of cool. Just keep practicing, and I can tell already that this passenger side header is definitely going to have better welds than this driver side. I kind of started to figure out the material a lot better. So anyways, this is all welded up. I'm going to let it cool off for a second, put it back in, and then start working on the other tubes, which I gotta cut, and start fitting. Saturday morning, we're about maybe 20 minutes into work, and we're gonna have an interesting one. So this is where the stock beginnings, I say stock, whatever, the header beginnings, the beginning of the headers for the long tube, doing the 15 inches, and then I cut this one at 19 because I knew it needed to drop below. End up in a really interesting spot. So we're gonna have to get pretty creative on this and try and make up that space to match the other side.
Man, it's the same bullshit they tried to pull in my day. You know, if it ain't that piece of paper, some other choice they're gonna try and make for you. You gotta do what Randall Pink Floyd wants to do, man. And let me tell you this, the older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
Thinking out loud, I must have $250,000 on me right now. Hard to make a song about something other than the money. Things I was about to talking blunt and staying blunt. Pretty women, are you here? Are you here right now, huh? We should all disappear right now. Like you're getting all your friends and you're getting in the car and you're coming to the house. I'm clear right now, huh? You see a fleet, all the new things. Cop cars with the loose change. All white like a mood things. Niggas see me rolling and they mood change. Like a motherfucker. New floor, got a dozen of them. I don't trust you, do an undercover. I could probably make some steps, this is fuck each other. Woo. Talking fillets with the truffle butter. Fresh sheets and towels, and she gotta love it. Yeah, they all get what they desire from it. What? Tell them niggas we ain't hiding from it.
Alright, you guys. So I am back from Las Vegas. We were there for the Mint 400, and after a long trip, I am back and back onto the headers. So the last thing we did was the collectors and the V-bands and getting those all modified. So the last few things I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them back off, or I'm going to get the tabs all cut off for holding the collectors on with the bolts. Clean all those up, mark them, mark where I'm going to weld them, and then pull the headers back off, weld on the tabs, and massage the insides of the ports from the heads. So all of that, and then we're done. And then the next thing I'll be working on is my stainless steel exhaust, which I got everything for. I have my Total Flow X pipe and my through mufflers showed up, and I got the flanges for the V-bands. Got these ones as well, and I got one more showing up because of the interlocking. So I think I showed it when I was modifying the collectors. These V-bands, they have the interlocking male and female sides to them, but the steel ones didn't have it. They were flat surface, so I had to use the, I believe I used the female side of two of them and use that to mate up to the steel on the collectors, because I was able to leave an overcut on the collector tube. So I ordered one more, so I have 2 more of these, and that'll go on the end of the exhaust. And then my pieces, because I'm making a set that's straight pipe and then a set that uses the muffler, we'll use these male ones. So I'll have 4 of those and then 2 of these once that gets here. Alright you guys, so I got the tabs welded in onto the collectors, onto the headers. Everything's in place, fully welded and bolted together. So I put the 2 headers together, and I kind of just wanted to show you guys the craziness of the tube work. So here it is. So you can kind of see all the different angles we had to take and the different angles on each side of the motor, but they were still all equal length. We're pretty close. So yeah, it's kind of cool to put them together like that and see all the crazy tube work that went into it, and all the different angles. It looks kind of sweet when you put them all together like that. So yeah, there it is. All the tabs are in onto the collectors. Only thing I got to do is massage and polish all the ports, and that's going to be it for this video. So collectors are done. They won't go and get coated right away. They'll sit in the car for a little bit because the next video will be doing the exhaust. So appreciate you guys watching, and that was a cool first TIG project. First time. There's definitely things I would do different. There's definitely things I would change. You know, my actual TIG welding practice got better onto the passenger side. So I would love to go back and do the driver's side and be able to weld it even better and make it look really nice. But it's all gonna get coated, and the welds are good. They'll hold. So yeah, that is how it turned out. So next thing to see is the exhaust. Peace.